about yesterday we spoke about few general symptoms of Cilicia, and today we are still going to speak few of the general symptoms, and then we go to the particulars. Now, my dear friends, as I told you, Cilicia wants confidence, want of confidence of, or also known as lack of confidence. So, whichever remedies are having want of confidence or lack of confidence, or they are not very confident, they all have sweating of palms and soles. All have sweating of palms and soles, including Cilicia, Lycopodium, Matrimore. All these remedies have got sweating of palms and soles. Especially in Cilicia, if he catches a palm like this, you can see the sweat dripping down, the perspiration dripping down from the hands. Literally, they always, you can find these people, typical people, when they sit for exams, they always sit with a napkin besides them. So they have to keep on rubbing their hand before every time they pick up the pen, because the pen might slip. Because this is because of lack of confidence, want of confidence. And in Cilicia, you have this peculiar complaint where the person always will be finding him wiping his hands on a handkerchief of a napkin, because his palms and his soles, they sweat. Now, as I told you yesterday, Cilicia, especially the head, which is very cold, who always wants to sleep with the head covered. All through the season, you will find Cilicia patients covering their head with at least with a chadar and sleeping. They cannot tolerate the draft of air of the fan directly on the head, or even their headache is supposed to be one of the worst kinds of headache, because it is better by hard pressure. It is better by hard pressure. Then in the hair, which lose their uh, glow or the lusterless hair, and then you go to a beautician, you apply some conditioners and some different kinds of shampoos. They try to bring back the luster, but that's not a permanent solution. Some old women also have beautiful hair. Their hair are full of luster. Not necessary that a shampoo or a conditioner is going to put them back in form, but definitely if you try Cilicia, you will have you get the glow back on the hair, and the hair they will be full of luster. They will be full of luster. Then I think the lights have gone up, but I hope you can hear me. You can hear me. Yes.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. The lights have just gone up. Kolhapur is slightly tricky as far as the lights are concerned. Anyway, so here now one more thing which I have noticed in couple of cases is whenever a person comes to me with profuse lacrimation, and profuse lacrimation, definitely normally we think of euphrasia, because euphrasia has got profuse lacrimation, and we all know that it is nothing new. This profuse lacrimation euphrasia is a known fact. But please try to find out with profuse lacrimation if there is profuse nasal discharge also. If there is no nasal discharge, that is also known as dry coryza. Dry coryza with profuse lacrimation, that shows that there is a obstruction. There is an obstruction of the lacrimal duct which flows into the nose. That's why whenever you cry, you keep on sniffing. You keep on sniffing. The sniffing is nothing but the lacrimation which falls in the nasal passage. So that is known as the lacrimal duct. So there is some kind of infection. If this lacrimal duct is blocked, then the person will have profuse lacrimation with dry coryza. And now, you'll remember, my dear friends, please remember, it is not euphrasia, but it is Cilicia, where you have to clear up this lacrimal ducts, because dry coryza is a very painful process. एक बार गीला coryza is taken, But dry coryza is very painful because every breath is an agony. And if it is a cold weather, every inhaling, if you inhale deeply with a cold breath, the whole the whole head and the whole nasal passage, uh, there is a pain. There is a pain. You can feel the cold breath going through the nose, and that pain is intolerable sometimes. He will always try to hold his nose while breathing if the dry coryza. And Cilicia has that because of the obstruction of the lacrimal duct. Then we have also sometimes this because of the this eyelids, the hair coming out of the eyelids, and there can be and small abscesses in the eyes. And we can think of Cilicia because Cilicia is known as a surgeon's knife. It is known as a surgeon's knife. It drains. It is a great drainer. Now, who are the Cilicia patients basically? In the broader sense, who are they? The people who work in the dust. The people who work in the dust. They may be working in asbestos factories, cement factories, spinning mills, stone crushers, where there's a lot of dust. Now, this dust, how many of us in India, because we practice in India, so we think of India again. So, how many of us in India use face mask? Forget about face mask today. Of course, it's a compulsory thing. But we are talking about air filter on the nose who work in this dust, especially the stone crushers, where stones, huge stones, are the moment they are thrown in the crusher, they are crushed into powder. Then spinning mills, there's a everywhere it is polluted with small fibers of cotton which are flowing or floating everywhere, and you tend to inhale them. Then asbestos factory, there is also a lot of asbestos dust. Cement factory, there's cement dust which is flowing all over, and people are working there. Their lungs they start becoming clogged. Not only clogged, they land up in bronchiectasis. Bronchiectasis is not bronchitis, bronchiectasis. The elasticity of the lungs reduces because the lungs get blocked with this asbestos or cement or dust, stone dust, which keeps on clogging the lungs, and then they cannot take a deep breath or they cannot cough it out. So in the initial stage, yes, we can do help them because these are the people, these are the victims of Cilicia. And if you give them Cilicia is going to bring out all these pollutants which are gathered in the lungs. It will bring it out and it will expel through the expectoration. So then in the nose, we have chronic, it can be chronic obstruction of the nose also. And as I told you, Cilicia is an invaluable remedy whenever a person is busy with his balms. जो आदमी balm लगाता है उस balm company के लिए होम्योपैथिक डॉक्टर ने I think they should give them a generous donation, ask them to distribute balm on the roads free of cost, so we will have no dearth of patients. We will continuously get a supply of patients because of these balm companies. They are not allowing the natural discharges to come out, and this because of any, I'm not only blaming Vicks or Amritanjan or Sloan's balm or the Tiger balm and all this, any balm, it is a strong, irritant which is applied to the nose, and the whole thing goes up. Either it will gather up in the sinusitis, if not sinuses, then the like the calibi, the post nasal catarrh which you have in calibi, or the whole thing goes and settles in the lungs, and ultimately this person comes out with bronchitis or asthma, symptoms like asthma. Nose, whenever there's abscess in the nose, any abscess, if you want to drain it, it is, as I told you, Cilicia is a surgeon's knife, and we have to drain the abscess instead of suppressing it, because if you take antibiotics, these abscess tend to get suppressed and then again they can recur. But if we take Cilicia, it is going to drain them and the whole thing with the B inside, एक छोटी सी B असती there, the thick part of the abscess, it comes out with that because you don't have to put a surgeon's knife, put a forceps, open it and drain it. So it is the abscess which are drained from the nose. Similarly with the ears, when the ears are stuffed up, and he says that, well, I feel that they are going to burst open, and I cannot tolerate the cold wind, the cold air on my ear. I just get irritated. So they always put a ear plug, or they put makad topi or the kan topi. They always wear a kan topi on their head, so the ears are protected from the cold air. But if you give silicia, there can be some drainage of from the ears also. The whole thing will drain off, and it will lighten up the load or the tightness in the ears, and it will just drain off. So silicia is a drainer. It drains, right? And Tim Tart is a drainer in the lungs. Silicia is a drainer of the anywhere there is a pus, it will drain it, including the abscesses in the mouth also. Whenever there is an abscess in the mouth, like that in the gums, instead of going for a cleaning of the abscess to a dentist, if you take silicia, it will just come out. I still remember uh, 2 years back when my mother had this salivary stones. She had a salivary stone, and when she went to my dentist friend, he said he took X-ray, and that was almost an inch long of salivary stone. And she said the dentist said that, well, either you bring it out with homeopathy, or I'm going to I have to cut it out and open it up. So it was almost an inch long of salivary stone in I mean, the maxillary is, I think, salivary gland, somewhere here, submandibular salivary gland or something like that. So here I gave her silicia 200, and one next morning she had a severe pain. Her eyes started watering, and then she started howling. It's paining, and it came out. The salivary stone just aborted, and I still kept it in my clinic to show that how big a salivary stone can be. And after that salivary stone came out, she never had this problem. So this is, as I told you, silicia is a drainer, and whenever you want to bring out any foreign object, even including a thorn which is not coming out, you can think of silicia. Then small children, they tend to put this marbles in their nose or something like that, doesn't come out. So if you give silicia, they'll start sneezing, violent sneezing, and they'll just push out the marble, which whatever is stuck inside, or small seed or something like that. They tend to put it in their nose, and then it gets stuck up, and the parents become helpless. They have to take him to a ENT. But if you have silicia, give us dose of silicia, and you just push it out. Just push it out with loud sneezing, and it will push it out. So, after giving silicia, if a nose becomes fluent, don't get afraid. I tell the patient, warn the patient that after taking silicia, he's going to have a fluent nose. He's going to have a fluent nose for 2 3 days, but that is not a problem. It will relieve all his congestion, and he will feel better. When I was working with Dr. Jigal Kishore in Delhi, I'm very fond of eating food. So I am a foodie basically. And when I was working with Dr. Jigal Kishore, it was almost 2 days I couldn't eat anything because I had a severe pain in both the upper molars, and I realized मुझे अक्कल आ रही है. That is, I was getting wisdom tooth. So that wisdom tooth was coming out, and someone told me that when the wisdom tooth appear, they are painful. But this pain was so much that I couldn't eat anything. I was only used to drink water, or some glass of lassi. That's all. But the pain was not stopping. So Dr. Jugal Kishore's nephew was a orthodontist, MDS orthodontist, and in the same premises he was practicing. So I went to Dr. Verma and I showed him. So he said, "My dear, take this antibiotics. Tomorrow you have to remove the third molar, because the wisdom molars which are coming, they are impacted. Impacted bole to, if this is the molar, the other molar doesn't come like this, but the other molar, if this is one molar, fine. The other molar does not come in the same place, whereas it starts pressing on this molar. If there is no space, starts pressing on this molar, and the only solution is to take out this molar. So this is the third molar which they bring out, extract it. So he said that you take this, antibiotics, and tomorrow we'll extract the molar. And then he gave me a laugh also. He said, "Well, see, हमारे मामा क्या करते हैं? Mama, can he help you?" And he laughed. He wanted to show me that this is a surgical intervention and no homeopathy can help you. So I was desperate and I went to Dr. Jugal Kishore and I said that, sir, impacted molar hai and it's paining me. He said, no, I have got a dinner appointment with the governor of Haryana and I am going there. He said, please sir, एक बार देख लो. देखो एक बार जब फास्ट दिखाओ तो मैंने दिखाया अरे इम्पैक्टेड मोलर है सिलिशिया 200 4 डोसेस ले लो. So he gave me Silisha 200 4 doses, and so I was very displeased that though I am working with him, he was not so careful or didn't examine me because he was in a hurry to go to a governor's house. So I took one dose. Now remember, my dear friends, this old nuts, old homeopaths, they have a keen sense of this pathy and science. If they give you something, it has to work. That's what I've seen. So here, so after taking this, what I said, Delicia one dose in the clinic. So on the way to my bus stop, I used to stay in Lajpat Nagar. So on my way to bus stop, I took another dose, and I was waiting for the bus, and then there was a padak padak sound, and I spat out. There was pus and blood. So both these abscesses, where this impacted molar was, they just broke open. There was no pain. I could just move my jaw, and I was so happy. So the moment I reached Rajpat Nagar, I ordered for a full tandoori chicken. I ate it in that place itself. पूरा tandoori chicken एक ही जगह पे खा लिया. Why I'm telling you this is, I was so happy that I could eat. Because if I can't eat, then I go mad. And then because of the Cilicia, it just, I mean, it was such a wonderful feeling. It just opened. So this is what surgeon's knife is. Of course, 15 years back, I had to remove those molars because food stuff is to go and attach there. But those molars, the impacted, as I told you, the impacted molar remained there. The impacted molar remained there. Last 15 years back, I had to take them out. So till then, I could survive with that. So that was such a wonderful thing. Even if you can survive, I mean, I'm this story. What I'm telling you is 1985, and 15 years back, that is 2005. So almost after 20 years, after 20, 85, 95, after 20 years, इसने काम दिया यार मेरे दांतों ने. So after 20 years, I had to take them out. So here also, it is invaluable. Whenever there is a gum abscess or tooth abscess, we say to drain the pus, to drain the pus. Once the pus is drained, my dear, there is no pain. The pus is drained, there is no pain. Pus, that pocket makes the pain more painful. So then again, I think of Cilicia whenever there's abscesses, tonsils are in abscess. So whenever you give tonsils, Cilicia and septic tonsillitis, it is going to break it open. It is going to break it open. So it is going to drain. That's it. That's why they say never give Cilicia in tuberculosis. They say never give Cilicia in tuberculosis because the tubercle inside the lung, it can break open and then there can be bleeding. It can break open and it can be expelled out. There can be bleeding. So Cilicia, you have to take precautions, not giving Cilicia whenever there is a foreign object in your body, like a nail in the bone, or say if he has undergone this angioplasty. So you take care that don't give Cilicia because it might drain it, it might bring it out. So Cilicia is a great drainer. Then in the breast, now this symptom, when I read it in the books, I was not very sure of the symptom because it says child refuses mother's milk. The symptom says child refuses mother's milk. Now why? Why does the child refuse mother's milk? Because that is the only staple diet for an infant. Well, mother's breast milk is the only staple diet. But then this and another breast symptom which I'm going to narrate again, I'm going to tell you again afterwards. So this why child refuses mother's milk? Because turns the milk turns bitter. The milk turns bitter. He will have other milk. He'll have buffalo milk. He'll have cow milk. He'll have goat milk. But he refuses mother's milk. So milk turns bitter. So here the medicine has to be given not to the child but to the mother. The medicine has to be given to the mother, not the child. And the child, and I have must have come across nothing less than 40 to 50 cases of this sort where they say the child is born and first few days we gave him honey and water for 2 or 3 days, and then one we want to feed him, so he's not sucking on the breast. But if you give him some other milk, he takes. So whenever I given Silisha to the mother, because maybe it is something connected with the confidence level where the confidence is shattered after a cesarean or something like that, where the milk turns where the milk turns bitter and the child refuses that bitter milk. And I have treated mothers and they again started feeding them. Then another symptom where after the delivery where I have used Silisha is inverted nipples. The nipples normally they are conical and they are pointing out. They should be pointing out. But if the nipples become inverted, though there is a milk production, it cannot be fed to the child. The child cannot suck it. And when the child cannot suck it, naturally the breast can have engorged, the breast can become engorged and they can be an abscess. So for the other day, I gave it to a cat also. One of my patients, she has a Persian cat and the cat delivered two kitten and they just couldn't suck the tits because the tits were inverted. The cat was given Silisha 30 and from next day the kitten started sucking the tits because the inverted nipple came out. So either nipples also I think very shy. Like the Silisha patient has got want of confidence. The nipples also want of confidence, and the nipples also go in. So they are not pointing out proudly, but they can go in. So here Silisha is a patient, a person where the inverted nipples and the breast can turn into an abscess. So to avoid this breast abscess, we can give Silisha, and once the nipples come out, either they can be, I mean, if there's too much milk, it can be pulled out of the by a pump, or the child is ready to suckle it. That's fine. Then in the stomach, we have Silisha has got a desire, though it is having a very chilly patient, but it desires for cold drinks, cold food, not very cold, but desires for cold food and cold drink. And well, there can be some patients who have got aversion for milk in Silisha, like the mother's milk, but there can be an aversion for milk. Some patients in Silisha. Then we go down further down, where in the anus, no, the liver. I must have drained at least 7 to 8 liver abscesses, where every day the the, the liver is to be penetrated by a thick, long syringe, I mean a needle, with under the guidance of the uh, sonography machine, USG machine, and then they used to guide the needle and they used to drain every day almost 100 mm of pus, so liver abscess or amoebic abscess or liver abscess. So Silisha, after giving Silisha, within 8 days, there was no more aspiration and they never suffered from this abscess again. So this is again, wherever there, as I told you, the surgeon's knife, whenever there is something which has to be opened and taken out, we think of Silisha and there's nothing wrong in giving Silisha. I mean, it is absolutely a wonderful remedy. Then fistula. Now, why fistula? Fistula is an extra opening near the anus. Near the anal opening, there is a extra opening of fistula. Now, if you try to give fistula some antibiotics or anything particular, the fistula, the pain might reduce, painkiller, anti-inflammatory, the pain might reduce, But how do you cure a fistula? To cure a fistula, you have to drain it. You have to drain it. And by giving silicia, the fistula just want the patient to wear a pad like something called a pad. I don't remember the name now. So they call it anyway to wear a pad because his fistula is going to drain after giving silicia. The fistula is going to drain profusely. So there is blood and mucus, blood and pus which comes out of the fistula, and this draining of the fistula is there almost for all. I'll tell you, this will go on for almost uh, 8 days, 8 to 10 days. Once the fistula is totally drained, then you can think of a remedy which will suit them, like acid nitricum, probably, or even Asculus, or even Heparcil, whatever it is. But first, you have to drain the fistula. Unless and until you drain the fistula, we cannot treat or cure a fistula. So draining is most important here. That pocket, there's a pocket where there's a lot of pus and blood. So that pocket, and sometimes the fecal matter also. So that pocket has to be drained. Once the pocket is drained, then you can really think of the giving something. The other day I came with my friend who is having a huge uh, keloid on his chest, huge keloid on his chest, and that keloid always has pockets. The keloid, no surgeon, not even a plastic surgeon will touch a keloid because the moment you touch a keloid, and again it's going to spread like a spider. You know, it's like a looks like a Spider Man. So this keloid is, I mean, it's very tedious. It's sort of a cancer of the skin. So this keloid always has pockets. So sometimes these pockets can develop bacteria, and they can be an abscess in the keloids. So when I gave this friend of mine, he came to me with abscess, and I'm taking antibiotics, and that is healing. but I said, that pocket, is that pocket draining? He said, no, but it is healing. The pain is reduced. I said, no, the pocket has to drain. And I gave him silicia, and last 10 days he is having silicia, and the pocket is totally drained, and the keloid also has shrunk. I don't say it is cured. I never said it is cured, but a keloid, because the pocket has shrunk, I mean the pocket is drained, the keloid has shrunk. So that's a good thing, isn't it? Yeah. So here, the keloid, for the keloid, silicia is one of the remedies for keloid, apart from fluoric acid and uh, graphitis, then thuja. These are all remedies for keloid. Anyway, so here and then stools. That's very important. The stools also don't have confidence. So that's why known as shy stools. They show the face and they go in. In a small child, the stools, they come till the anal opening and again they go back. They go back immediately. Why? They're shy stools. There's sudden peristaltic movement, and they sometimes you have to mechanically remove them. They're hard, knotty stools, and here also the shyness is seen in the rectum and the anus also, and we have silicia, which is invaluable in the hard, knotty stools. Then we have Phelon. Phelon is nakhud, when the nails become, I mean, the skin around the nails, there can be a pus collection inside the nails. And if you have to drain that, well, you have to give silicia. So wherever there is, for example, even if there is a wound by a thorn, and the tip of the thorn is broken inside, which is still not coming out, and there's a pain, give silicia, there will be pus collection, and it will drain out. So this is the magic of silicia. And my dear friends, I think we are opening up for question and answers if you have any. Yes,
Sir, yeah, in generalized perspiration,
yeah.
Miss Person has to take a bath for 2 or 3 times in a day because of the profuse perspiration.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we think of silicia in those cases?
Silicia can be thought of, but generalized perspiration, like if we talk about the Kali Pai, he perspires by sitting in one place.
Okay.
Then when we have this calcarea carb, he is perspires when he sleeps. So there are a lot of remedies for generalized perspiration. But
नहीं,
silicia,
बहुत गर्मी होती है, बहुत पसीना होता है, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना तासी गरम है.
हाँ. So वही बोल रहा हूँ ना, काली बाई. Like
हाँ.
sometimes I have the symptoms. Sitting in one place, I start sweating. I have done nothing, no exertion. So some people just sweat for no reason, and Kalibai is one of the remedies.
Okay, generalized perspiration without any reason.
Without any exertion. Calcarea
Without
का
any
with exertion है. इसका without any exertion. एक जगह बैठेगा तो भी sweat करेगा.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any more
Excuse me,
questions?
sir.
Poonam, yes.
Sir, if there is perspiration of the palms and sole,
Yeah.
silicia works, but the potency, sir, which potency should be given?
See, if it
Sometime
is with,
one
if it is accompanied with mentals, then definitely I will go
No,
into 200.
Okay.
It has to be accompanied by mentals and physicals both strong. You definitely think for 200 potency. But only physicals and no mentals, then we can think of 30.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, shall we close?
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
sir.
I
Bye-bye.
hope you understood.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you all understood.
Yes,
it.
sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Shraddha.
So sometimes there are boils on face which have abscess. So in that case also is silicia useful?
In case you want to drain one boil, then it is useful. But if it is a pimple, then silicia is normally not thought of in pimples. If you want to drain any boil, एक boil को आपको drain करना है, उसको clear कर देना है, then we can think of silicia.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Sir, one more thing.
Yeah.
So for kids, when we have some boils or something, so the potency which is selected, will 30 be useful for kids?
आपको कितना fast drain करना है इसको? अगर immediate फोड़ देना है तो 200 दे देना पड़ेगा. आपको लगता है कि भाई दो तीन है तो थोड़े फूटते रहे, तो 30 देना पड़ेगा.
अच्छा, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.